Good morning, ladies. It is Thursday. I can't believe that it is already Thursday. How does that really happen? I don't know if anyone else's weeks just fly by and then you get to the weekend, you're like, again, here we go again. It's like a bit of a circus at the moment. And I feel like there's been so much going on. But what I wanted to come in and speak to you guys about, hey Brenda, how you going? Is inflammation and silent inflammation. So, I don't know if you know my backstory, but I went into perimenopause at 39. So young, right? And I really had a, really good understanding of my body, and I was very in tune with my body. And never been on the pill, so I'd always had a period, and things started to change quite dramatically. Anyway, I started getting all of the things that I now see people dealing with every single day, right? And complaining about joint pain, hair loss, eyesight changes, skin changes, vaginal dryness, loss of libido, anxiety, muscle pain, not being able to train anymore, all of the things, right? And what I know now, having been in this arena for quite a while, so I've been in health and wellness, I was a former nurse, and I have been in this arena doing what I'm doing now for over 20 years in health. So I feel like I have a really good idea of what's going on. But what I didn't know was last year I got introduced to a new test. So I use a lot of test-based nutrition. I use pathology because that's the only way you can tell what's really going on in your body. Otherwise, it's just a shot in the dark, guessing, not really having any idea of what's really going on unless you test. And a lot of women go to their GP, get their normal bloods done, and they get told that there's nothing going on and their bloods are all fine. What's that all about? Alrighty, because we can't test for hormones, ladies. We just can't. People go, I've been told that I'm in perimenopause because of my blood test. That's bullshit. You can't tell that you're in perimenopause from your blood tests. So whatever your doctors are telling you, it's wrong, because your body and our cycle is in flux every single day. So if you went to the doctor and you got your bloods tested 3 times in one day, I guarantee you it would be different every single time. And that's in just a day. So perimenopause is diagnosed by your symptoms and what is going on, and also inflammation. Okay, so if you think of foundational health, think about building your house on the edge of a cliff. Those foundations are not structurally great. Same with our bodies, okay? So if you think what you've put your body through and what your body goes through over time, and you get to this point in your life, 39, 40, 50, whatever it is, that when things start to change, our foundational health is where we need to go to first. We need to fix up our cells. We need to heal our cells. We need to decrease inflammation, or inflammaging is what we love to call it. So a blood test, yeah, go get your blood test done. And then, people are happy that they've had their bloods done. But it's not going to help you with the underlying root causes of those symptoms. So what I found out last year, sorry, my ring light is, my daughter used it the other day and I think she broke it and chucked it back in my office, and it's a little bit wonky and I have to hold it. Anyway, that's by the by. So yeah, I was introduced to a new functional test, which I took myself because I was like, yeah, I'm already covering that in terms of myself. And I was just like, oh, look, it's just another test, and I don't really want to add another test into what I already do. Anyway, I held off for 6 months, and then I was just, right, I'm going to take this bloody test. So I took the test and I was like, I'm going to ace this test, and it's a balance test. So it's testing my inflammation markers. And at that point in time, I felt pretty good. I didn't have a lot going on. I had a few achy joints, which again is inflammation. But I was carrying on. It wasn't really stopping me from doing anything. But here's the kicker, right? Because that inflammation or that pain that I was getting is my body telling me that there's something going on, right? But I was choosing to ignore it, thinking it'll just go away. Anyone else doing that? And so I took the test, which is a blood spot card, and tested myself, and I was imbalanced. So my omega-6 to 3 ratio, which is what we're testing, and my inflammation markers were high. Who would have known, right? So I had what I call silent inflammation happening in my body, which if you'd asked me at that time and said to me, you have inflammation, silent inflammation, I'd be like, nah. I thought I'd ace the test, right? Because I did all the right things. I was taking an omega-3 fish oil, which was a practitioner grade fish oil. I ate fish maybe 3 times a week. I would have walnuts, flax, chia, most days in something, like in, you know, some berries, yogurt, and mix all those bits and pieces in. Yet that stuff wasn't working. So when I found this test and a 120-day protocol with a solution, and I took the test and I took the oil for 120 days and then retested, I was blown away. So I went from a 13 to 1 down to 1.7 to 1, where my body is now back in balance. I have no joint pain. I mean, look at this mane that I have. I'm 50 and I've got so much hair and my eyes are bluer than they've ever been. I have to go and get my eyebrows and all this stuff because the hair keeps growing, right? So our foundational health is really, really important. So that omega-3 fatty acid, along with high polyphenols from olives, which is what I'm having now, is giving me my foundations of my health back. My cells are plump and they're able to receive nutrients and they're able to remove toxins. So I haven't got inflammation, or very little. I'd love to get down to a 1-to-1, which is what our DNA, when we were born, that's where it wants to be, okay? It's because of our diet and our lifestyle. We are so out of balance. It is unreal. Like, I would have tested over 100 people since October last year, and I would say there's only one, I think, person, and he was male, came back remotely in balance. He still had a few bits and pieces out of balance, but he was, you know, he was going okay. And he was on an omega-3, which was sort of working, but again, just not enough. Alrighty, so our 6s that we're picking up in our diet, which are essential, along with our omega-3. So when we talk about essential, ladies, these things aren't made. Our body doesn't make them, so we have to consume them from food. We have to get them from either fish or, you know, your walnuts, your chia, your flax, and the fish has to be wild caught fish, because the way our food is produced these days, we are consuming more and more of the corn oils and, you know, the cheap oils that things are made with. And that's where the imbalance is coming from. It's coming from our diet, and it's coming from a lack of essential nutrients that we're not putting in, because even fish bought these days is laden with, because those fish are fed, if they're farmed fish, they are fed pellets, which guess what they have in them? Oil, corn oil, whatever it is, the cheap shit oil that they're feeding the fish, the cows, the sheep. We're then consuming that. Hence why we have a public health crisis going on right now, because people do not understand that foundational health is crucial to your body being able to repair, restore, recover. And so much of what I see, especially in my clients, is because of this poor foundational health. Yes, your hormones are changing. Yes, we need estrogen and progesterone. Yes, HRT will help boost those back up again, which is great. But you're still, if you're not dealing with the inflammation or inflammaging that is happening, then you still will feel pretty crappy, even when you've been on HRT, or even when you are on HRT. It's going to help with some of those symptoms, but it still doesn't address why your body is in such a mess. I hope that makes sense. Ladies, if you would like to test and you're curious about your omega-6 to 3 ratio and your foundational health, and you want to live longer and you want to have a crazy mane like I have, good skin, feel good, feel energized, get out of bed each day, sleep well, not have anxiety, and be living, not just surviving, then hit me up, pop test in the comments, and let's have a chat, because I'm here to help you. I want to help 5,000 women feel amazing like I do every day, because it's not right that you don't feel good. And it's not right that you go about your day feeling so, in such a bad state, or that you're always anxious, or that you just feel depressed, or that you can't exercise anymore because your joints are so painful. That is not okay. And I want to be able to help you to change that around. All right, gorgeous women, I will hopefully see you or chat to you. There is a link in my Facebook as well. If you go there, you can book in for your 15 minutes if you just want to do that. And I'll look forward to chatting with you soon. All righty, have a great day.